Well, howdy, folks. You are on the Seek on the Speed 252 show. Scroll over to the right and click that subscribe button. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the episode of Seek on the Speed 252. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. I hope you all are safe. Today we have Kevin from Exotic Sports Auto. This is his 2020 LC 500?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kevin, tell us a little bit about this car before we get into it. It's like WTF, man. It's freaking insane in here. Like the interior reminds me of like a 3LT C8 Corvette, and I want to do a comparison between the C8 Corvette and this LC 500. So,
of course,
what made you buy this car?
What made me buy it? So I actually review cars for a living, so I actually do that quite a bit. So honestly, I am jaded. I am very jaded. I have driven like something from pretty much every manufacturer for the most part. So I know what all these cars are about for the most part. And so when Lexus came out with this, I have been oogling and drooling all over this thing for a long time now. And the main reason why I wanted to get this is because this car, it's not tied down by spec sheets. This car is not, it's more than that. It's, you know, you have to drive it to understand it type of car. Okay. And you've actually already driven it once. This is take two. What
is your favorite thing about this car so far?
I think it's definitely the motor. I think just wringing that motor out, just like wringing the nutsack out of that motor. That's like, that's where the true glory of this car comes from. It's got the induction, it's got the engine, it's got the exhaust. It's like the trifecta of noises type of thing. So that's kind of what I like a lot about it.
So I know the C8 Corvette, as you guys know, has 485 horsepower, 470 foot-pounds of torque. How much horsepower, how much torque did this car has?
This car has 471 horsepower and 398 pounds-feet of torque, and it's all naturally aspirated, no turbos, none of that nonsense.
Okay.
To the Corvette.
The Corvette, the C8 Corvette, it weighs about 3,500 pounds. How much does this car weigh?
Oh, bro, the weight. This thing is like 4,300 pounds.
WTF?
Yeah.
That's like the Titanic.
Yeah.
It's like driving a boat right now.
Yeah. So, here's the thing. So the thing that, you know, a lot of people, they complain about how much this car weighs. That's actually one of the things I like about this car.
Why is that?
That's because, it weighs a lot, but the chassis of this is really solid. It's like rock solid the way they have the suspension set up. So you get the qualities of a good, like a lightweight car with a good chassis, but you get the heft, like you're driving a Bentley or something. Like, like the way the tires just dig into the tarmac, like you get that quality, hefty feel while still having like a good driving car. Like this car drives like it's half the size pretty much. It's usually how it feels to me.
That makes sense. So you guys, once again, we are in a 2020 LC 500. I actually had a chance to sort of kind of review one of these things in the past, and based off the specs, this is one of the main popular cars that was in Superfly and Black Panther, you know,
right.
And it looked phenomenal. I mean, it looked phenomenal, and I think the reason why Lexus decided to put it in Black Panther is to promote it. Because that was a very popular movie.
Of course, yeah.
For a lot of you guys who haven't seen Black Panther, shame on you. The back of it. You ever seen Black Panther?
I have not seen.
You tripping, bro. You tripping. I'm kidding.
Don.
Don is one of them. But at the end of the day, I mean, this car looks phenomenal. I hope it performs great. We're definitely going to take that for a test drive. Once again, I love the interior. I think the interior looks freaking amazing. It does remind me of 3LT C8 Corvette because everything is leather wrapped.
Yeah, your car has like the similar. Yeah, yours is like Ferrari spec. I like that.
Yeah, it seems. I didn't go after that spec. Everybody thinks I went to the Ferrari look, but I didn't.
But yeah, I know. but I ended up looking really good though. That thing turns heads.
It does. It really does. And when you pulled up with this also turned a lot of people's heads as well.
I think the Corvette and this car, like the two cars under like 100 grand, that'll actually turn some legit heads. Not the F types, little AMGs, little M cars that it pales in comparison to the way the Corvette looks. in the way that this looks. In
Absolutely.
terms of like getting attention.
Right, and it seems like with the 2020 Corvette, if you guys agree, you get a lot of car for your money, right?
Hell yeah.
You know, you can get a 60 grand Stingray C8, and it could cost you probably about 63 after taxes, and you still have a phenomenal car in your hands.
Absolutely.
Now with this Lexus is more of a luxury brand, like it's like a Bentley type thing. So it's one of those things where like Lexus is known for how much quality they have inside of a car, and Chevrolet has tried to go on towards that direction with their C8 Corvettes as well.
I was really impressed with the C8's interior. I really liked it a lot. That was legit. But yeah, that's another reason why I bought this. This is kind of like the pinnacle of quality. Like I think with 100,000 miles, it's still gonna feel like this. But most importantly, I like the fact that it's not tied to any numbers. And I think we're about to take it out for another drive, so we're about to see what this bad boy's made of.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you're a racing driver too.
Yeah, I mean, I have floored the C8 plenty of times along the C7. I'm kind of curious to see exactly what like this car feels like. A luxury car, $100,000 car, feels compared to a car that you can actually get for $60K that performs like other muscle cars or sports cars per se.
Absolutely.
So let's get this luxury car out on the road and see what happens. So right now we are once again in the LC 500, and I'm about to flow this thing.
In normal mode.
It feels good, man.
Yeah, I still like it in normal mode. Yeah.
So this is normal mode.
Yeah, but if you want to play with the paddles, I think Sport Plus is where it's at.
Okay, so can I play with the paddles in normal mode as well? Or okay, I was curious. In the C8 Corvette, I can have it in just tour mode and still play with the paddle shifters.
Yeah.
I feel like the paddle shifters in tour mode still performs great, just not as great as it does in sports.
Exactly. That's how it is in this car too. Yeah.
As of right now, man, before I get on the highway, it drives really smooth. Like the phrase is, it drives like a Cadillac, right?
Right. Yeah.
And like it really feels great. I don't feel like it's anything that's getting out of control, out of hand. Man, it really feels like a nice looking car. Like it just feels great.
But would you buy one?
No. Okay, if money wasn't an issue, I'm sure a lot of you guys and ladies said the same thing. If money an issue, then you would pretty much buy whatever you want, because you can just put it in your garage and just say you have it, right? Say I own this car, you can take it out for a spin every once in a while if you wanted to. But money for me isn't an issue. Hopefully at some point when I write my book, it will explain how I went from where I was to where I am now, and that still doesn't mean I can go out and buy any car I want to. But this is a car that is very comfortable. That I think is maybe overpriced a little bit. I think this is a car that could be worth $60,000 to $70,000, and
I think it's worth $150,000.
You think this car is worth $150,000?
Yeah, I think they underpriced it. Actually, this is too good of a car for the money.
Oh, you is biased. You is biased,
sir. I don't think so.
You is biased.
So. Never.
Oh, you think this car is worth $150,000?
People pay $250,000 for an Aston Martin. That's because it's got a Big Boy Martin badge on it. I think, bro, you need to get into that Sport Plus, bro. You need to stop playing around. You need to start playing with those paddles.
Oh, you really want me to drive this thing, huh?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
It sounds really amazing, though. It sounds really good.
There's a cop right there.
There's not. There's somebody in the car.
Bro, hit those downshifts, bro. Just keep pressing that joint.
Dude, for a Lexus, this thing gets up.
Bro, just for like any car, like that's all I need for like on-road driving. See, that's the other thing. Like Lexus made this to be fun on the road. Like you can just floor it all the time in this car. And you just like, it's just the perfect amount of power for like straight driving. That's just me though. I'm perfectly adequate. I'm perfectly content with the power of this.
I would love to see more power out of the C8 at some point, but this thing right here can go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Yeah, more power is, of course, more fun. I mean, your car is like a rocket ship. It's like a Tesla off the line. Yeah, see, that downshift, bro.
Man, this thing, I mean, right now I'm technically going pretty fast in Mexico.
A little bit, yeah.
And it doesn't feel like I was going any faster than just driving on a normal road.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. This car literally feels excellent, man. with you driving this car on the road yourself, how do you feel it feels compared to the C8 Corvette? You drove both the C8 Corvette and this. What are your thoughts?
So I obviously I like both cars, and I think if you want that maximum performance, like it's almost like a Ford Raptor, right? Like people go buy Ford Raptors, why? Because they go off-roading? Hell no. Like they like the fact that like it can do all that stuff, and like the C8 is like, bro, you just seen all the videos of that thing crushing like Hellcats, the GT500 Mustang. I don't know if you saw that one.
Yep.
Dude, those are like not jerk off cars. Like those are like 700-800 horsepower cars, and they just walked it. Like they just walked those cars. So if you want to have that, like if you want to have that feeling all the time, then you're gonna get that with the C8. But like this car, some people, they're not gonna be satisfied knowing that, oh, like it's not the fastest I could have gotten for my money type of thing. Like that's very important to a lot of people. But like to me, that isn't as important because I've already driven the P100D Teslas, I've driven the AMG Benzes and all that stuff. So I wanted a car where it's just like the way like Lexus describes the power, it's like a musical instrument. Like it's like a symphony type thing. Like you play like a piano, like when you you know, play with the paddles and all that stuff. It's just like more of a harmonic experience that just a piece of paper can't really tell you or explain to you type of thing.
That makes sense. So what is the 0 to 60 time in this vehicle?
It's about 4.4 seconds.
Okay, and have you tried to play with it yourself? Like, does this car has launch control?
I don't even think, I've never done anything.
Okay,
I don't.
I'm trying to figure out ways to actually, you know,
justify it.
As far as the $150,000 that you say you think is worth.
Yeah, I mean, like when you, heck yeah, that's big police right there.
Yeah,
but
that's definitely a police officer. Yeah,
but you're going like 65.
Yeah, and I'm in the slow lane at this point, just trying to cruise along, trying to get a good feel for the comfortability, how comfortable this car is compared to the C8, because the C8 really does drive smooth on the highway. Like when I'm not speeding or driving fast in Mexico, the car feels like I'm driving a Cadillac as well. And I think Chevrolet, you know, did that on purpose because you want a nice sports car that also drives just as smooth.
Well, they're smart. They got that magnetic
ride control
thing, which is amazing. So yeah, it's got that going for you. Yeah, the ride quality, I do appreciate that with this car as well. So yeah, a comfortable car for me really does it for me. But I think a lot of it is just like, you know, I mean, you haven't tried this yet, but like, you know, having the traction control off and just playing with the paddles and like drifting this thing.
Right.
It's like, it's really easy to do in this car, and it's like really catchable too. So it's like practical fun you can have every day on the street. Like, think about the LFA Lexus. You know what that car is?
Right.
The LFA. You can't get that car for less than like $600,000 in the used car market. That's not the fastest car in the world. Neither is this, but it's just like a similar type of concept, you know? Like,
that's true.
People are paying for the experience, not so much like for the performance of it.
That's true. So with you being a person that owns this car and that driven the C8, what are the compatibilities you see between both cars? Like, what do you think the C8 has that this car has?
Like, I think both of them have a very like good interior, and they're both very solid. Maybe some of the material choices are a little bit better here, but like I think the Corvette is very good for the price. Easily the highest quality American car by far.
I agree.
No doubt about that. I think they're both amazing looking. They're both the most eye-catching cars out on the road that you can buy less than $100,000 for sure.
That makes sense.
By far, yeah. They're both very comfortable. I appreciate the comfort of the Corvette. They were smart. They put 19s in the front of the Corvette, like 20s in the back, so it's a great riding car.
What is this car on?
A big boy 21-inch dubs for sure. Big boy dubs.
That's funny. A lot of guys that own C8 Corvettes are actually trying to put 20s and 21s on their car to kind of fill in that wheel gap.
And honestly, you can do that with that car because it still rides really good.
Yeah, that's true.
You can get away with a 20 and 21-inch setup. Yeah, you absolutely can.
That's absolutely true. You know, in my personal opinion, from driving this car compared to the C8, one thing I noticed that the C8 turns heads. Like, it immediately turns head. People have no clue what the C8 is when they say they think it's a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, you know, or a McLaren. They get it confused all the time.
Yeah, they do.
And between this car and that car, I think the C8 turns a little bit more heads, but this is a luxury style car. But people still turn their heads regarding this car too. Yeah. So if this car was on the road by itself, you will see people breaking their necks to figure out what it is.
Stupid, yeah. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
But I do think the C8 definitely turns more heads.
Absolutely.
Especially yours with the spoiler. You did it right with the spoiler.
The spoiler's nice. I think the guys on the channel also agrees that the spoiler was a very nice touch to the C8 Corvette. Now, this car doesn't have a spoiler at all in the back, does it? Like no lip or anything?
And, yeah, and also I don't have the performance package. So that's like a $5,000 option. So it doesn't have the rear wheel steering or anything.
Okay,
like
so what does the performance package add on this car like this?
Yeah, so the rear wheel steering, that was the biggest option. And then the pop-up spoiler. It like it's like the Porsche spoiler, like it stays flush and it like pops up type of thing.
Okay.
But like driving wise, like what is it about this car? Like, do you think is inferior or superior to a C8? Like, what you still prefer the C8, of course.
Absolutely.
So
why wouldn't I not?
So, okay, but like, why is that though?
Man, honestly, like, I love that sports car feel, that sports car look. Like,
Okay.
I think Chevrolet did a phenomenal job with the C8. I said it numerous times in a number of my videos. I think I'm a sports car type of guy. I think you're a luxury car type of guy, and so I can't see myself driving this every day. But I can see myself driving the C8 every single day.
I just don't see too much of a point with the sports car on the road. It's just like, I like the cars that blend like the sports and the luxury together.
Right.
Like this, like the Bentley, like honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like the next dream car I had was like a Phantom drop head, like a Rolls Royce.
Oh
like,
man, you going to the top.
that's a used one though for like 130 grand or something.
My dream car is just a straight out Lamborghini. If I can get an SVJ, I'd be happy, but I would love a Aventador.
Yeah, the
Lamborghini Aventador is
yeah.
just so nice. Lamborghini SVJ.
It's just like, I don't even know like what I would do with a car like that out on the street.
Drive it.
But like, here's
What we all do, we drive it.
Exactly, but it's just like you have your 2 seconds of fun, and you need to slow back down when you see a jerk-off cop like that, like, you know, underneath like a pass by.
That's true.
You know
That's true. That's true. Well, I'm not gonna lie, man. I think it's a phenomenal car. I think you did a great job. 23 years old with a $100,000 car. I'm proud of you, man. I think you gave me the opportunity. If this is your dream car, then go for it. Any car, doesn't matter what kind of car, whether it's a Honda Civic, Honda Accord, Lexus, you know, Tesla. If that's your dream car, go out there and get that bad boy.
I agree. You have one birth, one death, one life. This isn't PlayStation 2. There's no reset button to this.
Right. Go make it happen, man. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity to drive this vehicle, brother.
Yes,
I really appreciate it a lot. This car seems really freaking amazing, man.
And I appreciate you letting me drive your C8, bro.
Yeah,
that was an
absolutely.
experience. I was really, like, that was great, bro. I really appreciate that.
You kept flooring it too much. You kept flooring it. No, I'm kidding.
I definitely did, bro. I definitely. You have to. Like, I expect you to do a big boy drift right over there.
Probably not. I don't want to mess up this sweet ride in Lexus. I'm not one of those guys who's going to damage somebody else's car. But, so here's one question for you before I end this video. And I want you to tap in on this. Just because I asked this question to my audience a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Do you see this as a supercar?
That word doesn't mean anything to me though. Like, what is like a supercar? Like, people don't even think the Z06 C7 was a supercar.
That's true.
That's stupid. Like, you know how people are like, oh, the Carrera GT Porsche was the last manual supercar? Dude, you can get a C7 Z06 with 650 horsepower with a stick and a warranty. Like, I don't know what these jerk-offs are on about. So the word supercar means nothing to me. I don't think this is a supercar in terms of, like, you know, it does 0 to 60 in like 4.4 seconds. You can get like a $35,000 Camaro that I think would probably run circles around this car, honestly, performance-wise. So no, it's not a supercar, but I think this is all the car you would ever want on the road because you can use 100% of this. Like,
That's
it's
true.
Not wasted, I think.
That's true. That is true. Well, guys, that is it for this vehicle. This is the comparison, a driver's review from a C8 Corvette owner to driving an LC500. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, definitely please do so. Once again, this is Kevin from Exotic Sports Auto for giving us the opportunity to drive his car. And I will catch you guys in the episode of Seek on the Speed 252. I'm out.